Hello, crafters! I hope you are ready to get creative. Today we are especially highlighting creativity because we are talking about Psalm 139, this beautiful, reassuring passage where we hear how God has formed us, how He knows us, how He knit us and wove us together and made us, all of our parts. So we are going to honor that with some fun, creative crafts that highlight who we are and what we can do. Now, the first craft that we're going to make is, well, it's a bit of a hodgepodge because we're going to talk about how we can use our creativeness to be creative. So really, this is going to be, my backdrop is going to be a plate, and you can kind of choose how you want this to go. Depending on the age of your kids and the size of your group and the capability of them, you're going to just get them to have fun and go to town with this. So I've got just a variety of items giving you some suggested ideas for how you could do this. But really, you're making sort of a collage of creativity. And so we're going to come down here. We'll make a little caption so we know why there's all these random things that are strung together here. So we'll come over here and then we will make our hodgepodge. So we're going to start with, oh goodness, I can never cut straight. Let's try that one more time. There we go. All right. So we're going to say created to be creative. And then we're going to make our own creation. My own creation, and we'll reference the passage, Psalm 139. So that's going to get taped onto my little creativity collage here, and now we can have some fun. So you can use something like pipe cleaner and bend this into some fun little shapes, and I'm just going to do a whole variety of suggestions, and you can take all of them or none of them or adapt and make your own. So we've got, you're going to just use your imagination, pretend that's a heart. You can glue or tape these down. So here's my little heart. I'm going to put a cross in the middle because you should always have a cross on things. Now I'm going to make a person using a popsicle stick. So here's my little popsicle stick person. We'll have that be, again, we're just getting as creative as possible. Have this be kind of the base of my person. I'm going to draw a little face on my person. And I'm going to use some more pipe cleaners here to give this person some curly hair. Wrap my pipe cleaner around my stick and poke myself with it and make some curls. Again, this is just being a little crazy, a little creative. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's fun to, and you know, it's interesting because some kids will do really well with being creative and doing their own thing. Other kids need that structure and they will freak out if you tell them to just go ahead and go to town and do their own thing. They'll want instructions and they'll want specifics, and everyone's different just because that's how God made us. So I'm going to have my little person here, going to give them some clothes. Guess it's a her. This is looking like a her. Give her some shoes. And then you can even, if you want to really be fun, go for some Play-Doh. And maybe I add that to my plate. And I'm going to make a special little Play-Doh blob. Why not? And let's say I'm going to make a snail because Play-Doh snails are just easy and fun and fast. So we're going to make a little Play-Doh snail here. Here's part of my little Play-Doh snail. And again, we're just being very strange and random and creative because we can, because that's how God made us. And you can use balloons, you can use small puppets, you can use all sorts of things to make your creations. So here we go. I'm going to stick my little caption on there, and if you want, you can also, you can hang this up, or you can, obviously the Play-Doh's going to go flying off if I hang that up. So we're just going to have our fun little display of creativity there. So that is the most random and widely adaptable craft of all. the creativity collage. So craft number 2 is a bit more straightforward. We're going to reflect on how God has made us, made all of our parts, and made us special. So we're going to, man, when that pipe cleaner digs you in, it really digs you in. I apologize. So we're going to make did you know you can get a splinter from a pipe cleaner? I was 2 years old when I learned that. We're going to make a hand, an artistic hand. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a nice fresh piece of white cardstock, and we're going to trace the hand and then just use your creativity and have fun filling that in to remember that God made us unique, that he gave us fingerprints, that he gave us hands and handprints. And then if you want, you can also place this on another piece of paper. So we're going to start off with just the tracing of the hand. And if you want, you can go up and trace the arm as well. So I'll trace part of my wrist, go around my fingers here. And you have a couple of options. If you like, you can write, oops, there goes my watch, on the inside of the hand. You can put a verse or a caption on that inside of the hand. Or you can also add some stickers, you can add some glitter, or you can just color it and make it very, very creative. So we can say, we'll say something like, fearfully and wonderfully made. That's what we're celebrating. And then since I've got marker there, I'm going to go over it with some crayon. Now, I would recommend having a lot of fun with this. Again, if you want to put some stickers on, you can do that as well. I would recommend having a lot of fun with this, taking your time, or encouraging the kids to take their time, and making this a really pretty decorative thing that they can have. I do not have a ton of time at the moment, of course, because I don't want you sitting there just watching me do a whole bunch of coloring. So I'm going to kind of move quickly here, but encourage your kids to take their time, to go nice and slow, to have fun. You can also do this, a neat way of doing this is that you can kind of like go around, like sort of outline the hand and then outline it again and outline it again. Those are other cool ways that you can do this. But again, we're doing the fast version right now. But you, please feel free to have fun with your students and have them make their hands as colorful and as awesome as possible. But you get the idea. We're going around and around and around so that this turns out oh so beautiful. And wrap it up here so we can move on. And then we're going to, again, this part's kind of optional, but I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to put it on another piece of paper so that it's just really, really decorative. That way also, if you do happen to make a mistake, go outside the lines. Now that can all be forgiven because we're going to chop it out anyhow. So, going around and around and around. And then we will just throw some glue on there. And another advantage is you can put your verse or your caption outside of the hand as well. Totally up to you, as is everything really. And just get my little watch bump out of the way there. There we go. Here's my hand. I'm going to stick that down. Another lovely piece of paper here. And voila, there we have another reminder that we are special and unique and wonderful in God's eyes. All right, final craft for this wonderful section. We are going to do some weaving. We're going to weave with paper to remember that God has woven us together. He has woven our parts together. So we're going to make a paper placemat. Now, here is how this is done, I'm going to try and show you relatively quickly, but first, you're going to need 2 different colors of paper. You're going to be cutting strips out of one of the pieces of paper. You can measure these, or you can do it this kind of old-fashioned way and just do a little accordion flip. And you're going to cut your strips of paper. Then you're going to cut some little, I'll call them window slits, for these strips to go through. This will make sense momentarily, don't you worry. So, cutting my strips, then make them, or try to make them, a bit nicer than mine. Obviously, these are not amazing. They could be a lot better, but we're going to go with it for now, for timing purposes. So, what you're going to do is you're going to want to cut, so this is a horizontal axis, so you're going to want to cut some slits on the vertical axis in your paper. Being careful not to cut all the way through the paper, because then you'll be all chopped up, and we don't want that. So what you're going to do is simply make yourself some snips down, stopping perhaps an inch or so from the edge of the paper, like so. Now we have this wonderful slit. And if you're doing this the proper way, have them go nice and evenly and neatly. If you're doing this the I'm kind of in a hurry way, you can just eyeball it, but hopefully you're doing it the proper way. So we're going to cut those little slits all the way down. Then what we will do, snippity, snippity, snip, but not all the way through. What we'll do is we will take our paper strips that we have cut, and we're going to weave them. Also, when you're doing this, you want to stop with a little bit of paper at the edge. So I've got like an inch or so here. I'm going to kind of do the same at this edge. So I want some space. That just makes sure that I don't, cut too far out. So we're going to pause it right there because we're getting sloppy. And now, here's how this magic happens. So we are going to weave. So we're going to start going over and under the paper, over and under. Then we do the same here, over, under, all the way across. Slide it up, and I would suggest that you glue or tape this to secure it so it doesn't go flapping all over the place. So we're going to secure it. Now we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to go under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And then you'll glue it on the other side to secure. Gluey, glue, glue, gluey, glue, glue. And you will continue like that, alternating your over and under. So here we go, over, under, over, under. And you can do, I'm going to pause here because I figure you get the idea, but you're going to do that all the way down with your strips of paper. And then, if you like, of course, you can quote this verse here. And we can say, woven together. Psalm 139. And now, if you want, I also might recommend what you can do with this fun little weaving tapestry is you can just hang it up, or if you want to use it as a placemat, you could cover it. You could cover it with some kind of a sheet protector or like a plastic wrap or wax paper or something, and then seal it so that you have a nice little placemat. That way you have something you could actually use at home. And maybe if it's a certain season, you can do fall colors, or you can do Christmas colors for Christmas or something fun like that. But Hopefully, it does take a little bit of finesse to get that weaving hang of things, but it looks super fun and super cool if you can get it even enough. There we go. And is a neat way to remember, well, as we weave this paper, well, God has woven us together. He has put us all together, makes us, and loves us. So hopefully, those are some crafts that can help you with this very important and wonderful, marvelous passage, but a few more ways that you can express it and explain it and share it with your students. So hopefully that gets your creative side juices going so that you can have fun and be crafty with your crew. And hopefully this is a blessing to you and your ministry, wherever and with whomever that might be. Stay tuned because we do have new craft ideas and new messages and amazing cat antics every week. And we hope that we can see you again. So go make some crafts, make some disciples. Have a great week, and we will see you next time.